Iceland, a Nordic island located on the edge of the Arctic Circle, is a country that stands out not only for its dreamy landscapes, but also for its unique culture and way of life. While it may seem like a small, isolated country at first glance, Iceland has been a pioneer in social advancements, especially in gender equality and women's rights. These values have shaped a society that many from the outside may even consider too open, creating myths and misconceptions, such as the rumor that Icelandic women only think about sex. However, this stereotype actually stems from a deeply progressive and equitable culture where personal autonomy and freedom of choice are central to daily life. And we're about to get into the details, so subscribe and hit the notification bell because we're starting soon. Historical origins of equality in Iceland. Iceland's history has been shaped by extreme weather conditions and geography that, for centuries, required the collective effort of the entire community to survive. In an agricultural and fishing society, men and women shared tasks to ensure survival in a harsh environment. This interdependence fostered a society that valued equality in roles and responsibilities long before modern concepts of gender rights were introduced. Over the centuries, this work-based equity evolved into the society we know today, where women have gained rights and freedoms that are still the subject of struggle in many parts of the world. Gender equality in Iceland is reflected not only in the workplace, but is deeply rooted in personal relationships and the way women experience their personal lives. This independence, earned and reinforced from generation to generation, has allowed Icelandic women to express their identities and make decisions about their relationships and sexuality without fear of judgment or social stigmatization. Women's independence in modern life. In modern Iceland, women's independence and autonomy are seen in all aspects of life. Women actively participate in government, business, academia, and virtually every public sphere. Over the years, Iceland has implemented policies that not only promote gender equality, but also solidify it in practical aspects of daily life. This equality allows women to live their lives according to their own decisions, supported by a social and legal framework that protects their rights and freedoms. For example, sexual education and family planning are taught from childhood in Icelandic schools. This not only creates an open and responsible mindset towards sexuality, but also enables young people to make informed and responsible decisions regarding their relationships. The sexual education in Iceland is one of the reasons why the country has one of the lowest teenage pregnancy rates in the world, reflecting how personal freedom and autonomy combine with responsibility and emotional maturity. Dating culture in Iceland, demystifying liberalism. Iceland's dating culture is unique and influenced by the size of its population. In a country with only 370,000 inhabitants, social life has a nearly communal character, where everyone seems to know each other or have mutual friends. This makes dating in Iceland less formal compared to other countries. It's common for relationships to start casually, without pressure, and often emerge from friendships. Unlike other cultures where romantic relationships usually come with expectations of long-term commitment from the start, in Iceland, people have a more relaxed and open mindset about personal connections. In many cases, people meet in social contexts such as music festivals, cultural events, or gatherings with friends. The idea is to enjoy each other's company and get to know the other person without feeling like the connection has to evolve into a committed relationship or marriage. This mentality has led Iceland to be perceived externally as a very liberal society when it comes to relationships. But while Icelandic society has an open view of sexuality and relationships, this doesn't mean Icelanders are promiscuous or that women only think about sex. In reality, Icelandic culture deeply values mutual respect and personal autonomy, allowing both men and women to experience their relationships and sexuality naturally and without social pressure. Gender equality in Iceland, beyond symbolism. Iceland not only leads the world in gender equality indices, but has also been a pioneer in establishing laws and policies that ensure real equality in practice. For example, in 1980, Iceland became the first country in the world to democratically elect a female president, Vigdis Finnbogadóttir. This election was a reflection of Iceland's commitment to gender equality and an important precedent that inspired future generations of women in the country. Like and share this video because the best is yet to come. Over the decades, Iceland has implemented laws such as the Equal Pay Act of 2018, which requires companies to demonstrate that there are no gender wage gaps for doing the same work. Additionally, the government has introduced parental leave policies that allow both mothers and fathers to share maternity and paternity leave. These policies not only reflect Iceland's commitment to gender equality, but also foster a culture where women don't have to choose between their professional careers and personal lives. Gender equality in Iceland has allowed women to have an active active role at all levels of society. This economic and professional autonomy translates into greater freedom in their personal lives, as women can make decisions about their relationships and sexuality without relying on external factors such as social pressure or economic stability. External perceptions and myths about sexuality in Iceland. Due to its liberal and progressive approach to social issues, Iceland is often subject to misinterpretations or stereotypes. Many visitors and international media tend to oversimplify this culture of freedom as an obsession with sex, creating a myth that Icelandic women only think about it. However, this perception overlooks the nuances of a society that has worked for generations to create an environment of equality and respect. To better understand why sexuality is perceived so naturally in Iceland, it's important to consider the pragmatic approach the country has taken towards sexual education and personal freedom. In schools, young people are taught about consent, respect, and the importance of healthy relationships, topics that are addressed from an early age. This early and open education fosters a mature and balanced view of sexuality, where individuals are free to make informed decisions about their personal lives without feeling they are breaking any taboo or going against social morals. For Icelanders, sexuality is simply another part of human life, an aspect that can be explored safely and respectfully. Iceland's pragmatic approach to relationships and sexual education is one of the key factors behind its low teenage pregnancy rate and almost non-existent stigmatization of personal decisions. Far from being a society obsessed with sex, Iceland is a country that has integrated equality and respect into all aspects of life, including relationships and sexuality. The importance of female representation in public life. In addition to equality in personal spheres, Iceland has also achieved strong female representation in public and political life. Currently, around 40% of the seats in Iceland's parliament are occupied by women, and women also have a significant presence in business and leadership roles. This representation ensures that women not only have a voice, but can also influence policies and decisions that affect society as a whole. Female representation in government and public life is another reflection of Iceland's commitment to gender equality. By ensuring women have access to positions of power and decision-making, the country creates an environment where women can actively participate in building a fairer and more equitable society. This capacity for political and social influence also allows Icelandic women to play a central role in protecting their rights and freedoms, further reinforcing their independence and autonomy. Iceland stands as an exceptional model of how a society can harmonize personal freedom with deep respect for the rights of others. The narrative often built around life in Iceland, where it is assumed that women only think about sex, is nothing more than a superficial misunderstanding of a culture that actually values autonomy, consent, and mutual respect above all. In this country, sexuality is not a taboo or an obsession. It is, rather, a natural and healthy aspect of human life, lived with freedom and responsibility. What truly sets Iceland apart is not only its openness about gender and sexuality, but its holistic approach to well-being, which encompasses education, inclusive public policies, and a culture that fosters mutual respect. In Iceland, people have the right to live authentically, without fear of judgment or repression, something that few societies can claim with the same conviction. Icelandic women don't only think about sex, they think about equality, the freedom to choose their paths, being mothers, daughters, workers, and above all, being free individuals deciding about their own lives and bodies. Iceland's commitment to gender equality is a testament to the power of progressive policies, cultural values, and a deep-seated belief in fairness. From its early history, where men and women worked side by side to survive in a harsh environment, to its modern-day status as one of the world's most gender-equal nations, Iceland's path to equality is marked by a continuous commitment to ensuring that all citizens, regardless of gender, can thrive. While Iceland may be seen as a small country with a unique culture, its values of equality, respect, and personal autonomy serve as an inspiration to the world. The integration of these values into every aspect of life, from the family unit to the workplace, from politics to education, has created a society where people are free to live as their authentic selves, without fear of discrimination or social pressures. As the world continues to grapple with gender inequality, Iceland offers a hopeful model of what is possible when a nation places equality at the heart of its policies and practices. With its ongoing efforts to refine and enhance its social, political, and economic systems, Iceland will likely continue to be a beacon of hope for those fighting for equality in all corners of the globe. Iceland proves that a progressive, inclusive society is not just a dream, it is something that can be built brick by brick with hard work, compassion, and a deep respect for human rights. And as Iceland continues to lead the way, other countries can look to its example as a reminder reminder that achieving true equality is not only necessary, but possible for all. Tell me what you like most about Icelandic culture, and of course, share it with your friends because we'll be back with more soon.